Hi guys, and welcome to World of Warcraft tutorial part 6. I'm Buddy1927, also known as Buddy Pal in World of Warcraft, and we are continuing on with our professions, and today we are going over 3 professions. They are engineering, blacksmithing, and jewelry crafting. And the reason why I'm going over these 3 actually goes back to part 5, and which was the gathering professions. These 3 together actually need one more to actually help level up, and that's mining. All 3 of these actually need mining to help level up. They need the ore, they need the stones, and they need the bars that you create from the ores. So all 3 of them actually work with mining. So let's go over each individual one. Sorry guys. Okay, engineering can make a lot of good stuff. And as you can see, I got Engineer Bud. He's there with the Engineer Trainer, and he's actually trying to level up his engineering and learn other stuff. Now, one good thing about having an engineer is if you have a hunter, they can actually make guns for your hunter, which are a lot better than what you can pick up. Especially at the top end, they can actually make better guns than you can actually buy from the vendors. So that's one of the benefits of that. They can also make scopes for the guns. They can also make ranged weapons enhancements for the ranged weapons. So there's a lot of things good if you got a hunter that's good for that, or a ranged weapon specialist. The next one is goggles. They can make goggles, monocles, and other headgear. That's actually exclusive for the engineer themselves. They can have stuff that can see a little bit farther, can spot certain elements or stuff like that. So that's one of the good things about having if you want to engineer. Some of the perks about the engineer can actually make stuff for themselves. The next one is explosives. These little guys like to blow things up, so they can make bombs, dynamite, and other explosive stuff. The next one is transportation. They can make flying machines, rocket boots. They can make the motorcycles that you see people ride around in, and other transportation stuff. Sorry guys. Other transportation stuff to help you get around in the game. The next thing is that if you're a pet collector, they can actually make pets. They are handcrafted pets that will actually follow you around. And a lot of people go for the achievement of the most pets, and one of the ways you get it is have an engineer make you some of these pets. And last but not least is miscellaneous. Now, they make special trinkets, they can make parachutes, and they can also make quest items for you. There are some items that only an engineer can make, and if you're in a quest, you either have to go to the auction house or have your engineer make them for you. So that's another reason why I like having an engineer in my lineup, so that way those unique items that I don't have to buy them from the auction house. I can have my engineer actually make them. Now the other specialized trinkets, and I say trinkets and coins, as an engineer, my engineer Bud here is also my miner. And the reason why he's my miner is as he's leveling up his engineering, once he gets to I think over 400, he can make a specialized coin or a trinket that he carries around in his bag that allows him, when he's mining, to actually extract elements from the mining process that are used in all the things, in all the professions, which once I've already utilized them, I can turn around and sell them on the auction house and make good make good credit, because all the professions actually can use these elements, and I can actually extract a little bit more with that trinket I have on Engineer Bud, which helps me boost my goal overall. So our next profession is blacksmithing, and as you can see, I have notes just so I can keep my track of what's going on. Now, blacksmithing can do a lot of stuff. First thing that they can do, and the reason why they're called blacksmithing, is they make armor and weapons. They make mail armor and plate armor. They can make shields, and they can make other body protection devices. They make weapons such as swords, daggers, axes, and and most of the melee implements. And since we got Buddy Pal here, he's actually my tank. And because he's my tank, he can now make his own gear. He can make his as he's leveling up his blacksmithing, he can start making his shields, which when he gets into dungeons or even PvPing, the shields that he can make are a lot better than I can buy from the vendors. So that's one of the reasons why I always have, if it's a plateware, I always have them trying to learn blacksmithing. Okay, now blacksmithing also has some other benefits. They can make keys. Keys that can open the chests and lock boxes that you find throughout while looting bodies and stuff like that. You can't get it open. There's one or two ways to open them up. It's either have a rogue open them up for you, which can do lock picking, or you can make a key. And that's one thing that blacksmiths can do, can make the keys. Certain keys open certain level boxes and so on. So the other good thing about blacksmithing is they actually have this thing called whetstones, which is stones that you can actually, if you see right here, off to my left, you can see the stone, which actually will adds an enchant. Actually sharpens the blade, so you actually end up getting a certain percentage, but it only lasts about 1 hour at a time. So you put the enchant on there with that stone, and it will do X amount of damage, additional damage to your strikes and stuff like that. And last but not least, we have socketing. Now, they can make sockets. They can make sockets that will actually socket their own weapon, their own armor. So they can actually have extra sockets added to their armor, so they can add more gems to the armor. They do make another socket that will add a socket to your belt buckle, which they can turn around and sell to the sell on the auction house. Because that way players can also other players can use it that they don't have to have blacksmithing for, and they can add a socket to the belt buckle. So that's another reason why you always want to try to have at least one blacksmith in your lineup. And I always make my tank a blacksmith, mainly for that main reason, socketing. I can add extra sockets to it. Plus I can also make my own armor, my own weapons, my own shields. So that's another reason why I always have my tanks be blacksmith. Now, jewelry crafting, Buddy Pal again here is doing jewelry crafting. And jewelry crafting can do a lot. First thing is, let me get things set up here. I'm sorry, guys. First thing is they can do prospecting. Now, this goes back to the mining. When a miner mines, they get ore. They collect ore and stone, usually. And they can take that ore in stacks of 5 and actually grind it down to actually end up making gems. that they would need in the in the jewelry processing. So that's one of the benefits of having a jewelry crafter. They can process the ore and get you more gems that you can help with your jewelry crafting. The next thing is gem cutting, where they can cut and prepare gems to improve the bonuses that they provide in the socketed items. They make the gems that you put in the socket items that you get. I think it's when you get to Outland, you can start getting socketed, which is I think level 60 is where you can actually get gear that has sockets where you put gems in them to give you a little boost, depending on what that specialty of that gem is. Can give you a little boost in whatever that gem works on. Now, the next thing about having a jewelry crafter is they actually make exclusive gems, which are only unique to the jewelry crafter. And these gems are actually a lot more powerful than the regular gems that the jewelry crafter makes. So they have a little bit more of an advantage. So I'll give you an example. If I remember correctly, it's been a while since I've done this, and I'm now leveling up these tunes as I'm doing this tutorial. Back when I had a buddy pal on another server, and he had his jewelry crafting maxed to 600, he could make this stamina gem, which was 20 stamina, that he could sell that anybody could use. But then he had that exclusive gem cut where he can actually add 35 stamina instead of 20 stamina. So he had a 15 level boost in that gem. So that's one of the reasons why I use Buddy Pal. Have Buddy Pal actually doing, he's my tank, and he's actually doing jewelry crafting. This for those exclusive gems overall. Now, there's some other things that the jewelry crafter can do, such as they can make statues, which will help heal the jewelry crafter over time. They place on the ground when you have to be within 5 feet, and they will help heal you up. And the last but not least, they actually make jewelry. They create rings, necklaces, and trinkets. And if you can create your own rings, necklaces, and trinkets, it actually helps you out a little bit. They do make some every once in a while, some rings, necklaces, and trinkets that are only for jewelry crafters, which are a little bit better. But this way, as you level up your tune, you can level up your gear as you go along with it. So right now, Buddy Pal has blacksmithing, so he has all his armor as he's leveling up his blacksmithing and he's leveling up his tune. He has armor to go with it. Now he has the rings, the necklaces, and any trinkets once he gets up to jewelry crafting, where he can start making trinkets to help level up the tune himself. So that's another reason why you should have a jewelry crafter. So I hope this explains to you at least those three professions: engineering, blacksmithing, and jewelry crafting. As you can see, Engineer Bud is also my minor, and because of the trinket that he can make that's only for engineers, with the benefit of actually extracting stuff as he's mining, that's one of the reasons why he's my minor. Now you got engineer, you got Buddy Pal, who's my blacksmith and my jewelry crafting. And the reason why I have him doing blacksmithing and jewelry crafting is because of the extra socket bonuses that he can do, making his own shields, making his own weapons, making his own armor. Also, he makes his own gems and he can make those unique gems only for jewelry crafters that are actually better than the gems he can make for other regular people. So as you are trying to figure out professions, try to figure out what you are going to benefit from those professions for your tunes. Remember, you can only pick 2 main professions for one tune. There's 11 professions and 4 4 secondary professions. Out of those 11 professions, you can only pick 2. So try to pick the 2 that actually help benefit your characters. Now the other 4 can be learned. All 4 can be learned from your character. But the 2 main professions, you gotta make sure you pick right and which will help benefit your character overall. So I'd like to thank you for watching this video. If you do like us on YouTube. If you have any comments, leave your comments down below. Any suggestions, leave them down in the comments. If you have a friend that you think might be interested in this series, share this video with your friends. And if you haven't done it yet, subscribe to my channel. That way you know when I make the next video. I do not just World of Warcraft, I do World of Tanks and other videos. So that way you know when the latest video comes up. I'd like to thank you again, and you all have a good day.